right? The art of horror. We're going through this pretty much, you could say, the art of horror, right? From the Penny Dreadfuls in the early to mid 19th century, all the way into the 20th century, where you had the Pulp magazine covers, poster art, novel cover art, comics, which your comics come directly out of your Pulp Fiction, right? Your Pulp Fiction had interior art. Okay, so it's all connected together, right? And they just amazing. Just the stuff, you know. I mean, we were going over the comic covers, right? Charlton, I always loved the Charlton, the Ghost of Dr. Graves, Gold Key, right? The Dr. Spectre, right? But you got like even foreign ones here. You got the what's this in Germany? What's this Deutschland? Gespenster, Geschichten, ghost stories, right? Bastei Verlag was one of the most successful comic series ever in Germany, publishing 1,654 mostly weekly issues between 1974 and 2006. But also you have like other, India, Turkey, Australia. You got these Fumetto, right? Of course, Italy, the whole Fumetti comics. Everyone forgets about Italian comics. Everyone forgets about them. They don't. The Italians don't care if you forget about them. They know. They remember. They don't care about you. Right. The word fumetto literally means little puffs of smoke in Italy, referring to word balloons in comics. Is that what that means? It also has come to describe pocket-sized books of often violent and sexual black and white horror strips. Right. The most infamous of these was Italy's increasingly explicit Oltretombo, right, Beyond the Tomb, which lasted for 300 issues from 71 to 86. Also from Italy, the erotic Dracula. Nice. Look, and the Greeks being the original people, they call it Zacula. Look at that. Oh, what is this? Like his rival Luchador Santo, Mexico's what is this? Blue Demon, right? The Luchador, Lucha Libre, enjoyed his own series of photonovelas during the 60s and 70s. So we see that the non-Anglosphere is loving this stuff. And we got the now we get into the 50s. So there's a chronological aspect of it. Of course, the great Japanese, the way they do their photo collage type posters, and then of course you get the Japanese version of the Mummy. The Hammer's the Mummy. I love that cover. And then you get like the Italian, of course, this is the Italian artwork from Mexican films, La Maschera del Demonio, right? This is Black Sunday. Remember what happens to her? So we got, now we're going into, so got the Bowery Boys. Oh. And the Abbott and Costello, the Abbott and Costello, like when the horror films, remember? He meets the Invisible Man, remember this one? The guy's a boxer. Right? He's boxing the dude, and he's like punching the guys for him. This movie. I as a kid, I remember this one. This one really didn't hold up too well when I saw it recently, but this one, Abbott and Costello meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Man, this might be the best one they did. They really catch the period very well. But let's we're going to movie posters. Black Sunday. That was what I just had covered. So of course with the in terms of the art, now we're gonna go to the novels, right? The novel cover art. We've gone over the posters, the comics, the covers. Now we're gonna go over the novelizations, right? The great artwork on them. The pocketbook of ghost stories. Remember the pocketbook? That was a huge thing. Look at I always say this. The weird shadow over Innsmouth. Oh man, what city is this? There's a bunch of cities like this, right? The terror of this racism. This racism. Shove it up your ass. Look at this. The best of it. I think these are British editions, man. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, in England, it's like this stuff was. Back then it took it for like the mother country. It took a lot for stuff to get over. So this is cool, right? This the highlighted artist here, right? He worked for Ballantine, right? Ballantine was a huge publisher. He had a more modernist art style, and this is like I know people are like, oh, modernism, abstract art. I hate it. I hate it. I'm a traditionalist. I think modernist art really goes well with a lot of horror. The surrealist aspect of it, really, what is things with claws? Terrifying tales of clawed creatures with murderous motives. This is, what the hell is this? That sounds awesome. Of course, you got the Lovecraft, I guess the Derleth stuff, right? The Survivor. Look at this. I like modernism. So, in this context, of course, we get The Devil Rides Out. We have going over this movie. This is the original novel cover. All right, so like I said, it's just great art. Art. It's all about the art of like I said, the 20th century. And you see Lovecraft, I mean, he's already passed away, but his name's showing up everywhere. Alright, so, and then, now, okay, careful, son, careful. We get into some little saucy sort of things. Alright. We get the men's magazine where, like, buxom women. Oh, yes. Oh, women in bondage. What is this? I was a captive of teenage lust. What? 10 reasons why you may blow your brains out. What? Men today? The Gestapo. I love it. Roast in hell, my sweet. Oh my god. Is adult reading pay the devil? Oh man. Mask of evil. Oof. Adult reading. What are you doing to her? Oh man. So now we'll round this out. There's a more poster art, right, for now the 70s, right? The exploitation, Deep Red, right? El Profundo Rosso. What a great film that is, man. Jeez. And you start to see there's more photos now with the art, right? Deranged, right? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's funny how this film, which is a great film, is remembered. This film came out around the same time, the same inspiration of Ed Gein, right? Very freaking creepy film, but it's not remembered anywhere as much as that. So it wasn't because it wasn't done well. So you get these awesome posters, right? I knew this. Horror of the Blood Monsters. I knew this was Neil Adams when I saw this art, and it was. It was Neil Adams, right? Great comic artist. So you see the awesome, artwork for the posters. What is it? The Death Head Virgin. Whoa, I never even heard of that. Jock Gaynor. Shoot, I never heard of this. A Curse of the Crimson Altar. I always remember this movie as a kid. I remember my mother was unpacking groceries and this was on with Barbara Steele wearing green makeup. Crazy. So, we've seen a lot of these posters here. Boomer Bust. So, okay, we'll round this out with more art. This is the 80s horror boom. Okay, so this creep called Stephen King is really popular. Right? He sells these huge fucking novels that are short stories that have been padded out so that women can read them. Okay, not saying he didn't have some talent. I can't say that. But he gets huge. Right? Anne Rice, she gets huge. Dean Koontz. So now you're building on more the horror stuff becomes very popular. So the books of blood. The American, I think my oldest friend, he gave me the first one. When they were released in America, Clive Barker's Books of Blood, I remember the covers. They would take some kind of Halloween mask and put some lighting on it and put blood on the mask, and that was the excellent covers they made. I remember one had a mask where they had fishing, lures, fishing worms, rubber worms that you use as fishing lures, all over the mask. Very, very high, lots of Didn't look cheesy at all. For I'm not gonna lie, Clive Barker stuff was pretty nasty back then. And this, I remember the crab books, right? And this guy, I'm learning more about this British writer. This guy pretty much wrote a lot of horror, nasty, but like fun pulp type horror with a lot of sex in it. So this guy, I remember seeing these books. I remember seeing all these books, right? And I gotta say, the covers were awesome. The covers were really, really cool. I remember Book of the Dead. I remember this one. John Skip and Craig Spector, right? Splatterpunks. I remember this. I had this book and I lost it. But like I say, the art that you had in these 80s novels, Tor being the biggest publisher of it, were really, really cool. The anthologies were huge, of course, right? Let's see if I remember any of these. The picture they brought Weird Tales back at some point, but this one, man, fucking Necroscope, man. Brian Lumley just passed away, rest in peace. These were really good novels, man. Very Lovecraftian, very much spot. There was the vampires were essentially alien creatures, really, really good from what I remember. And there's another Necroscope thing here. I had this book. Actually, no, I didn't have this book. My fiance had this book. I inherited it from her. This is actually really good. An anthology. Right. And just all the covers, all Goosebumps. Oh, it's scary for the kids. Remember the millennials remember that. Yeah, I remember these covers, right? This is the horror. Okay, this is the horror boom of the 70s and 80s, fueled by the success of Stephen King, especially in prints such as Tor horror is finally beginning to decline. I remember this. So Dell Publishing launched its own dedicated paperback horror line, right? But it was discontinued by the late 90s. Man, this stuff was gone, man. This stuff was gone. Oh, I remember this. Nancy Collins, Sunglasses After Dark. I remember that. That was actually good. It was actually good. Of course, the infamous. Remember this cover? It's infamous. The Lovecraft. These are I think these are the most famous Lovecraft anthologies when they came out. Michael Wheeler. Remember this dude? Remember Obituary's second album? They used artwork on their cover, and this dude sued them. I remember that. Cause of death. And this is the artwork. Now, they didn't, obviously, you could go over, thrash and death metal album covers, right? But they weren't really particular horror stories. They were just the style of it, like Dan Seagrave and Pusshead and all those dudes. But anyway, enough. This book, man, there's so much stuff in here. Man, recommend it if you can find it. I would advise it if you're a real horror head and you appreciate art, if you're an artist yourself, like I am. Man, this was really, really good. Really impressed with this. Shocktober continues.